Hello. It's Friday. I'm just sitting over here knitting, dun, 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 waiting for the minutes to go by until I could see y'all. I was reading some of your comments. I hope you're warm. Yeah, I saw Linda said that it was a brisk 37 this morning up in Ocala. It's brisk here too. We're a little south of Ocala, so I don't think we had 37. I didn't go outside this morning. Bo took the dog out, so I didn't have to do that. But I did have to empty my dehumidifier earlier, and it was brisk, but it is beautifully sunny, so that always helps. So let's see. And I think, Anne, I saw you were a little chilly too, and Valera. And I saw some talk about the Color Cuff Club. I just joined that, so I'm excited. I'm excited about it. And you get all the previous charts and, the basic pattern. So I'm excited about that. Like the October one, I was like, oh, I need that one. And then was it November? Anyway, so yeah, these are all socks that are going to have to be knit at some point. So I'm very excited. And let's see, I saw Erica is on here. Hello, and Laura and Valera. I think I already mentioned Valera. And let's see, who else have I not? Go, Carol. Sunny day in Virginia. Oh, snow finally stopped. Oof. Yeah, there's been a lot of snow, hasn't there? Y'all are getting it this year. Hey, Joe Carol, low 20s. Oof, ouch. And then Karen, you started at 9, but you'll see 23. Oh. Hello, Karen. Yes, so Anne is saying good morning and Karen is saying good evening. So we've got all the way from the East Coast over to Scotland. I love it. Hey, Kim. Happy to see you here. And Katrin. Yes, the ghosts. I love them. Hey, Barbara. Warming up in Oklahoma. Good thing. Oh, yes, Diane. Cold, but at least it's sunny. The sun does seem to make a difference, doesn't it? I know here, I think tomorrow is supposed to be cold and I'll be going out. So I was like, yeah, but is it going to be sunny or is it going to be overcast? Because that makes all the difference in the world. So yeah, I think tomorrow is supposed to be overcast if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. This is probably one of our last cold spells here in Florida for the season, I have to say. So listen, I don't know. Y'all probably didn't hear. I didn't hear until Sharon texted me. Y'all, there were swans stolen from Lakeland. I kid you not. Real live, a pair of black swans were stolen from a neighborhood pond here in Lakeland, and the eggs that they were, taking care of, and they were found down south in Miami-Dade County. Apparently, they are worth money. I think the article said that the adult, and I don't know what makes the difference because there was a difference between the two adult swans, but they were about 3,000 worth about 3,000 each, and the eggs are worth about 1,500. Maybe because they're black. I'm guessing that would have something to do with it. We did talk about them being more rare, but it's in craziness. But they were found, and apparently they're back. So, good news there. And other exciting news. I think Karen, I have you to Karen Leggett, I have you to thank for this. Bridgerton is coming back, baby. Season 4, right? Season 4? I think I get my numbers mixed up, but yeah. So this will be Benedict's story. So I don't think they have a release date. I've not seen a release date yet, but I'm very excited. And yeah, I think so far Benedict is, at least on the show, he's like one of my favorite characters. I haven't read the books yet. I'm not going to read the books. I have them, but I'm not going to read them until the TV series is done. I usually I know some people, I don't have to watch the movie or the TV series first, but I kind of prefer that because in my mind, if the book came first, and it did, then that's the way it is, right? And so I don't want to read it and then have it ruined because they have to, if nothing else, they have to leave out parts, right? Like even Pride and Prejudice, my favorite version is the longest version, but they have to leave out certain parts. They can't include everything. So I like to watch the TV first, and especially with this show, Bridgerton, with the way they've modernized it and tried to diversify things, obviously, I think it's gonna be different than the books. So I'm saving the books until the end, but I will read them for sure. So, all right. Are y'all excited about Bridgerton? You're not commenting about Bridgerton. I hope you're as excited as I am. All right. So that's Bridgerton. So we'll keep an eye out on that. I went ahead and followed because I realized I'm not following the Bridgerton Instagram or anything. So I followed it so I can keep up on that. All right. And then also, did y'all like the last Loveuary movie? Return to Office. I will admit that I forgot about it somehow on Saturday night and ended up watching it Sunday night. And so far it was my favorite of all the movies. It was a good one. So I will show you a sneak peek. So Monday, nothing went out. So some of you, if your yarn shipped Tuesday, it's possible you might not have gotten it yet. So I'm going to show the very last colorway. So if you haven't gotten it and you don't want to see it, all right. So, and of course, you all know that these are now out of order because they changed the order of the movies on us. But here it is. And I titled it Mr. Tuesday and Miss Monday. But I think it should have been Ms. Monday because I realized when I was watching it, that's what she calls her, or he calls her, Ms. Monday instead of Miss Monday. I know, I just had to point out my own error there, didn't I? So you see that it takes in some of that teal, some of the black we've had before, and then also some of that pink. So, excuse me. Here are all of the colors. I think this is the order from this side to this side that they came in. By the way, I have a special order in progress I had a special request for that teal that shows up in It Takes Two to Tango, which is basically that color would be clarity. So I don't have it. I don't have a skein of it. But if you've been around a while, you know that it's a beautiful, deep teal that is just like that. It's a semi-solid. So I'm not doing a pre-order because, like I said, I don't have a picture. But if you want a skein or two of it, then just message me and I'll get you an invoice going because I'm dyeing some of that up. All right. Okay. And then this Saturday is our last Loveuary movie. Oh, it's the one that was supposed to have been the second week. Yeah. Sisterhood Inc. It looks pretty good. So yeah. So it'll be our last Loveuary movie. All right. You haven't watched it, Karen. Which one have you not watched? Oh, you haven't watched Bridgerton. Yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. So, it won't be released until 2026. Oh, that's a bummer. It's a long time to wait. Wow. All right. Oh, yeah, you may, Carol. So your purple, what was that? That purple leaf plum that you got? It matches both this and the dyeing to knit. Yeah, so you may have to have, it may have to serve two purposes. I think, do I have another one of those? I don't remember. I think I do. Oh yeah, I do. There's more in the shop. So you know. All right, what else? Okay, so February's fiber challenge is we have one more week. So keep posting all of your projects. I have loved seeing your projects, by the way. And so I'll announce the winner next Friday. Ordinarily, it would be like the following Friday, but the last Friday of the month is the last day of the month. So I was like, I'll just announce the winner. So you have another week to get all of your February fiber challenge whips and FOs and all that posted. So I'm not going to go over the rules again. Y'all know what they are, right? So yeah. Hey, Star, happy to see you. Yes, purple leaf plum, perfect for both. That's good. It's a very versatile purple. I like it. I knew I liked that purple. All right, so let's talk about, speaking of projects, why don't we go through our whips? Y'all, you're going to have to hang on because it's going to be a wild ride of whips that are showing. And then, oh, Karen, I'm hoping to cast on tomorrow since my squishy flew over the ocean and landed today. Yes, I was very happy to hear that it landed. Very good. All right, here we go. Are you all ready? I got a lot of them. So here we go. This very first one is from Valera. She said her colors are a little bit off, but you can tell what they are, I think. So Cat's Meow, she's using Cat's Meow and Swan Song, and she's knitting up a pair of awesome socks. How cool is that? And then I'm going to go down here to the other end of my list. So this I should have shown last week because she posted a while ago. This is Nancy Victorino. She is using After Midnight on Trusty DK, and she's knitting up the Light Weaver shawl from Woolenberry, which I looked at the pattern. It's a beautiful lacy shawl, if anybody is interested in that. It looks awesome. And then Laura is knitting up the Rocket TDK with Swan Song on Fluffy DK. And just so you know, I happened to look this up because I have it on, I knit this pattern in the fingering version, which I love. It's very, the way that it fits and with the ease that she puts into the pattern, it's very drapey. And I wear it like for dressing up occasions sometimes. And I noticed that the DK version, it's long sleeved rather than short sleeved, but I love the way that she did the sleeves. If you haven't seen it, you need to go look at the pattern because the way that she does the sleeves, I'm like, oh, that makes it like, it kind of elevates it a little bit. So you can totally dress it up. It's a great pattern. All right, Linda, yet another pair of socks. I love it. She has now completed the Swan Song shorties. So she has some more shorties for summer. I like it. And then Star, she is doing, oh, that's right. She got, this is Duke of Hastings, and she cast on a Musselburgh. Am I the only one that has not yet done a Musselburgh hat? I'm going to do a Musselburgh hat. I have decided. We'll talk more about that later. So, and I love the little swan progress keeper in there, by the way. It looks great. All right. And then Linda, again, this is from the Color Cuff Club. And she and I picked out some of those colorways together. I love it. And let's see, she didn't list the colors here, and I don't remember what all they are. I think the red might be mail pouch. The blue could be buttons. I don't remember for sure. But of course, black, pomp and circumstance. Yeah, all good stuff. That's a beautiful pair of socks right there, let me tell you. And then Danielle is knitting up a Novelli. How gorgeous is this? And yeah, I got to help her pick these colors too at a trunk show that I did at Knitcessity. So I know she's got Junho in there. The purple was left over from another project. Oh, Christmas Tree Farm. That's right. Is that beautiful green color that you see up there intermingling with the purple. Oh, it looks so good. She has such a great eye for color. Nicely done. Oh, this one, I love these colors. Bobby said she took a break from her Lee sweater and was doing the Lonely Hearts Club. And it's using Clarity is the, right there is Clarity. It looks a little bit less tealy here. And I think that's because of the red that she's got paired with it. But I love that. I need to do a project mixing Clarity and a red because, oh, gorgeous. I love it so much. And you can tell, oh no, this isn't that project. I'm sorry, it was a different one, but I love the tassels that she's showing here. How awesome are those? All right, this is the one I was thinking of. So Sabrina also did the Lonely Hearts Club. She did it in Queen of Tarts and Pomp and Circumstance. And look at this. So that was one version. The other version, she changed. So she changed her, main color and contrast color. So she ended up getting two hats out of it. I love that. They're both awesome. Very cool. All right, this is Taylor. So I met Taylor at She Sells Yarn the first time, and then I met her again at Distaff Day, and she got enough burnt butter to knit herself a sweater. And I'm pretty sure she said that this is her very first sweater. It's the step-by-step sweater. So yeah, she's doing an awesome job. She sent me that picture on Instagram. And then Lonnie is doing, or did, she did an X's and O's hat with Bad Moon Rising and candy shards. I love it. I love that, that deep dark purpley red in there. That looks awesome. All right. And so this is, and I wrote it down. This is called, well, what are you? Oh, Spring Forward. Anne said the pattern is called Spring Forward by Mari Lynn, and it was in the Vogue Knitting Live Winter, I think 2019. I looked for it and I couldn't find it because I like the pattern, but it's not that big of a deal. But I probably won't put that one in the show notes just because I couldn't find it. It was probably me. It's always me. But it looks great. She's using Everyday Pink is at the top, and then Bon Anniversaire. I love that combination. Very cool. All right, Michelle, who, by the way, it was her shawl that was the inspiration for the Happy Hearts collection, which includes, of course, Queen of Tarts, Duke of Hastings, Charcoal, and You're Blushing. And then she ordered another set of it. And I was like, what on earth? Is she making another Your Slip is Showing or what? No, she is making the 24 bird shawl. And oh my gosh, it looks gorgeous already with that charcoal and You're Blushing. Ugh, I love it so much. All right. And then we have Anne, who I had wrote her a note on her last order. I was like, whatever are you using these colors for? Because I told y'all I get nosy and I get so curious when y'all order stuff. So anyway, then she did a post and was saying that she is doing her, she's making a Your Slip is Showing, and she's going to be using the one of a kind from the January, what is it? Is it Love is in the Air? No, I'm thinking what did it was a one of a kind. Anyway, and she's also got some red. So she's just started Your Slip is Showing, and it looks awesome, Anne. All right. I hope I didn't miss any. You know, sometimes you load these pictures in and then they disappear and you're like, wait, what happened? All right. Kim, you haven't made the Musselburgh either, nor has Tish. All right. Then we are all in good company. Well, maybe we'll have a chance to do that because, yeah. Hey, Lonnie, glad to see you. So let's see. Anne, you said it's by Mari Lynn Patrick. Okay. I will look for it again. So we'll see. And Linda, the Musselburgh would look great in spruce or burnt butter. Yeah. Or even I like what a lot of people are doing, and they're making like scrappy hats where they'll, just use a bunch of leftovers and stuff like that. Yeah. So we'll see. So speaking of hats, let's talk about hats for a minute. So I finished Bo's barley hat. He came in my room this morning, and the next thing I know, he was walking off with it. And I was like, hey, where are you going with that hat? It is his hat. But I think if you know the barley hat, see, here's what I like about the barley hat. And I believe they've modified the pattern. They've updated it so that you can now make it in fingering and DK, or worsted, whatever you like. But I like the worsted because it's a fast knit. I'm sure all of them are really. I mean, even fingering, it's a hat for crying out loud, but it's meant to be a slouchy hat, and Bo likes the slouch on it. And then, but what I like about it is that it has a section of purl. So it knits fast, but it's got enough, I say purls, it's got a garter stitch section. And so it keeps your interest, And it just makes it go by fast. So I did it in cookie crumbs, and I noticed we have one skein of cookie crumbs left. But do you know what I thought it, well, on squishy worsted anyway, but I'm thinking, wouldn't it look good in dappled? Oh, it would look so good. I might have to make me a hat in this. We've got one skein left of it. If somebody doesn't get it, then I'm going to get it. And I'm going to make me a hat in it. That's what I'm thinking. I can always dye it more, but I'm just saying. So here's what I'm thinking while we're talking about hats and the barley hat. Yeah, it is no wonder. In fact, I was looking through, so here's the deal. I was looking through, I went and got all the hats that I've knit because I was thinking for March, what we'll do, the fiber challenge, I'm getting a little bit narrower in the guidelines. All right. So instead of just giving a broad, it's still pretty broad. I'm giving 2 things that you have to do. All right. So it's going to be about hats, right? March is still good hat knitting weather, right? Yeah, I think so. So let's knit hats, or at least a hat. And because it's March, it has to have green somewhere in the pattern. It doesn't have to be all green, which I love what you said it would look good, Linda, in spruce, because that's what I was thinking. I realized when I pulled out all the knit hats that I have knit, I've knit several of the barley hat, but I don't have any green hats. And now I know that I did knit a green hat in a colorway called Snow Flurries. It was kind of a bright fluorescent green, but light. It was speckled. But I gave that away. I donated it. And if I remember correctly, it never even made it where it was supposed to go, because when I checked, she was like, I never got it. So I think it got lost in the mail. So I have, and it was an everyday slouchy beanie that I knit up and donated that never made it to its destination. That's okay. But anyway, my point is I don't even have any green hats. And I realized I haven't knit. I have a green cardigan. So this will be for me too. So I'm thinking I'm going to knit. I know I said I want to knit another barley, and dappled would look good. And I could do that and add in some green, but I don't, that doesn't really do it for me. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to knit a Musselburgh hat. That will be my March project. And I'll add in some scraps of green and stuff like that. What do you think? All right. And then, you don't have to use Swan City yarn. You can use whatever yarn. March, I think, Tish, did you mean March Hat Madness? I like it. Dappled. Ooh, yeah. Duke would look good on a barley hat. Yes, absolutely. It would. The sip hat is a good one. Okay. Only takes 2 minis. I'm going to have to look that one up. The sip hat. Let me write it down. Sip hat. All right. I'll find it. About to eat my marker. All right. So, yeah. So that's it for March. That's what we'll do. So I'm giving you a heads up that you need to go through your stash, find your green yarn, or get some green yarn if you're like me and you don't have a bunch of it, because, it's a little out of my comfort zone too. I look good in like a Kelly green, I know, and like a deep dark hunter green. Those are 2 greens that I know that I look good in. So I'll find something. All right. So it's still here. My ranunculus. I got a little bit sidetracked again this week. I did knit on it. I'm on the hem. You can see, I think I've only got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got like 6 rows to go. And then I'll bind off on that. And then I just have the sleeves, and the sleeves are fast. They really are. So who knows? Maybe I'll get on it this week and have an FO next week. I definitely want to take this to Nash Yarn Fest with me. So I got to get on it and get it done. So there's the ranunculus. I'm still making progress on that. And then, y'all, I did finish a sock. I didn't finish both of them, but I finished my first shorty of the apple of my eye set. So I don't know if y'all saw I might have mentioned this last week. So I ended up, when I got to the foot, I was too lazy to count and get stitch markers or whatever. So I literally, because 10 rows is easy to keep track of, even 20. So I just did them in my rows in multiples of 5. And then every so often I'd put in a 5-row section of limeade. And then that helped me because I do 65 rows from the heel to where I start decreasing for the toe. So yeah, so that's it. So there's my first one. And I did cast on the second one. So I haven't made much progress on that, but I did cast it on, and I'll have plenty left, which is good because Morgan says she really likes them. And so I asked her if she wanted to knit herself a pair, and she said, yeah, if there's enough. And I said, oh yeah, there will be enough, especially if you add in random stripes of limeade like I did. So, so yeah, which that leaves me with a conundrum. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. So my sister-in-law, Susan, I've told y'all about her. Oh, Lonnie, you've done the sip hat toy. Okay, Stephanie Lotvin. All right, I will look for that for sure. Nice. Okay. Is it a good one that you can mix colors? You said it takes 2 minis, so you could mix the 2 minis, I guess. I'll have to, but one of them has to be green. All right, so anyway, my sister-in-law, Susan, very knit worthy. She doesn't knit herself, but I think I've gifted her a couple pairs of socks. And I didn't do it this last year at Christmas. I think time just got away from me. And so I just sent them a gift box or something. Well, my brother mentioned that she made a comment that she was a little disappointed that she didn't get socks for Christmas. And I was like, oh, well, I'll knit her a pair for her birthday. So now that and I know I still have my striped set socks, but this is why I need like fairly simple sock patterns, because like I've told y'all, most of my knitting time is later at night, or if I'm in the car, if it's a pattern that's kind of fiddly or time consuming and I have to look at the pattern a lot, then it's not always as convenient for when late at night when I'm tired or when I'm in the car. So it's helpful to have this, a portable sock that is either a vanilla sock or a simple pattern that I can take with me and not have to concentrate too much on. Where was I going with that? Oh, so anyway, because I'm getting, I'm already on my second sock and it won't take long to finish. I was like, okay, well, her birthday is the beginning of April, my sister-in-law, so I need to get on a pair of socks. So I was thinking about what I would knit for her. And so far I've knit her I think I did a pair in Over the Rainbow. Do y'all remember that colorway? It was basically speckles of the different colors of the rainbow, the Roy G. Biv. And then I knit her another pair last year. I think it was in one of the Soxy U colorways that I quite frankly really liked myself, but I gifted it to her. But it was it was a calm colorway. So I asked my brother, because that's her personality. She's very calm, sedate. So I asked my brother, do you think that Susan would like a pair of bright socks or more, regular sock appropriate colors? And he said, oh, bright, definitely. So I was like, yay, because you know how I love my bright, wild socks. So I was trying to figure out, and I realized as I was looking through the shop, I don't have a ton of like wild, fun colors going on right now. So I do have, which this leads us into the shop update. I did dye up a Mardi Gras colorway. So it occurred to me, this might be fun to knit her a pair of socks in the Mardi Gras colorway. So it's called Fat Tuesday. It's on a variety of bases. And you'll see, I don't know how well it's showing up. This yellow is a bright neon yellow. All right. And the purple is a bright neon. I took the traditional Mardi Gras colors of green, yellow, and purple. Ordinarily, I would not put them together, but it is Mardi Gras. So Yeah, they're together. So I did it for those of you that, if you are a Mardi Gras reveler or you have a memory or something like that you want to commemorate, then these would make fun socks or a fun project that you can work up. So here it is on Swanky Sock. And then this is on Silky Sock. I've got it on a couple of different bases. And then besides that, so I want to come back to that because I want to pick a color, a mini of what would go with that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. I also dyed up with March coming, and we talked a couple weeks ago about needing some greens. You're right, Lonnie. I have been in a dark and moody era for sure. So I dyed up, and I had a special request from a couple of people to put some limeade on big skeins. So limeade is one of the greens that is in the shop. This is it on Fluffy Sock, and this is it on Fluffy Lace. I've got it on, I put it on a multitude of bases. Trusty Sock, Trusty DK, it's on Swanky DK. And yeah, so it's on different bases that you can get. Now, I will say this, if you're looking at colors, this limeade is not the same yellow that is in Fat Tuesday. It's not that it kind of goes if you were like making socks and you wanted or even a shawl or something and you wanted a different color. I think as long as it's not right up next to it, because if it's right up next to it, you can tell it's not the same. If it's away from it a little bit, it looks fine, but it's probably not the color that I would choose to go with it. So the greens that I dyed up are kind of just random greens that either I needed to dye up for someone, especially in the case of Shut Eye Town. So Karen, she and I did a call. She was picking colors for some design projects she's going to be doing. So she said, I need like a minty green. And I was like, oh, let me go look in my cabinet and see what I have. So I found an old mini that I had of Shut Eye Town. So this was, it first came out in a Christmas advent years ago. It might have been the very first one I ever dyed. I don't remember, but it's a great colorway. It has just a few random dark green speckles on it. Those are intentional. That's it on Silky Sock. I also put it on Fluffy Sock. This one I put on most bases. Even, did I not bring it? Oh, I even put it on Fluffy DK. I didn't bring one of those over here. But I will say that about this particular colorway, this is a discontinued dye powder. And so I, because Karen needed it and I wanted to dye up some greens, I went ahead and used it. But my dye powder's almost gone. All right. And then another one that I dyed up is Leprechaun. So this is what it looks like on most bases. This is it on Silky Sock. It's a beautiful bright green. It is the same green as what you see in Fat Tuesday. So you could totally put those together for sure. It's got different greens in it. I speckled it, stuck it in the proofer. And then if you get it on one of the fluffy bases, so here it is on Fluffy Socks, goodness. But it definitely has mellowed out those speckles as it did also on Fluffy Lace. You can see, I love that bright green. That, what do you think? That might be the green that goes in my hat. I like it. All right, so those are the greens, and then there's even a few. So there's spruce that only made it onto minis. Spruce is an odd color. It's a green, but I got to tell you, when you put it up next to other greens sometimes, no, it looks green today. I don't know. In some lights, it almost looks blue, but it's definitely, it's a deep, deep, deep dark green. Really pretty. Actually, that would look good on me. That might have to go in my Musselburgh hat. If I do a Musselburgh hat, I might do the SIP hat. No limits. I did think about that, Kim. It is bright, but I wanted something, it's colorful, but I wanted something like fluorescent. You know what I mean? So anyway, okay, real quick before we go back to Fat Tuesday and what would go with it. The other thing that I'm updating, I put a few skeins in the shop, is Pomp and Circumstance. It's not on all the bases. I think there's some more coming next week because I just kind of filled it in where I had pots available in my die batches. And but yeah, y'all seem to, there are two things I always try to keep in stock, a couple of things: Pomp and Circumstance, Swan White. Those are always good neutrals that are good to keep in the shop. So I was thinking, was looking at some colors. Let me get the minis here. I'm thinking of doing, sorry, light, I'm knocking into things. Here's what I was thinking of doing. Okay, so Fat Tuesday, if I make her a pair of socks out of this, what do y'all think about Bodacious? See, that's kind of where my mind goes. Get something that's completely contrasting. I like that. I also like Gnarly. Do you like that? I feel like because they, they're complements to green, but yet they also, they don't like clash with the yellow and the purple. And I even thought about Mandarin. I'm not sure that that's my favorite. I know that purple and orange are complements, but the orange and the green are a little, So I'm thinking either Bodacious or Gnarly for the heels and toes. What do y'all think? And I don't know. I mean, it's not like she's attached to, Mardi Gras or anything like that, but the bright colors would make a fun pair of socks. So let me know what you think about that. And, oh, hang on, y'all. My computer says that it's in low battery. Hun, I think I need your help because I don't have an outlet available. Do I have an outlet available? Y'all, I promise I just charged my computer. I don't know why it's saying it's low battery. I mean, obviously it's on low battery, but Bo may not even be watching. So I'm going to have to undo one of my, oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my Wi-Fi instead of plugging directly in. And then I'm going to take there you are. So I'm thinking if I turn on Wi-Fi, I can plug in my power outlet. What do you think? Is that good in place of that one? Ooh, and like Gnarly and Linda, I think number 1 was Bodacious. Well, I'm going to plug it in here. So is that okay? Laura says, here comes the executive producer. That's right. He's definitely the troubleshooter. Y'all should have seen this week. Well, you may have heard about it when I did. Yeah, it won't go in there. I think it's fine. Apparently I seem to still be there.
Don't you have one of these in your drawer?
I don't know. Probably that. That's not the right one.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it? You sure we don't need this one?
Oh, that's already.
Yeah, see, this could go in there.
That one. Sorry. Here, take that back.
I take this.
This goes there. And then.
But now it doesn't say it's charging. So I'm not sure if it's working. Sorry, y'all. Technical problems. I'm involved, so there's that. Nope, still not charging. I say we just plug it into the computer.
This
It's plugged into the wall.
It's plugged into the wall.
Yeah.
It is.
And it needs to be plugged into my computer. But you better hurry up before my computer goes to sleep. Yeah, I say we just finish off with that today. Okay, so anyway. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
All right, we're making it work. Oh, they're saying hi, honey. Ann says hi.
Hello. Goodbye.
He doesn't like for y'all to see him. Because he's wearing his, his work from home clothes, which is like a t-shirt and shorts, just comfy clothes. And he's like, oh. Bo is a very snazzy dresser, just so you all know, if you see him out and about. Okay, where was I going with that? So we have Bodacious. Yeah, so I think Bodacious might be my pick too. So we'll see. Anyway, okay, so there was something else I wanted to tell y'all. My mind's all messed up now. While I get back on track, I will show you this. So look at this lovely bookmark that was knit by Nyla. So I met Nyla back in December. I went to the Polk County Fiber Guild for the first time. It's a lot of you probably have fiber guilds in your area because they're all over, I've noticed. And we have one for Polk County, and I had just never been able to attend. So back in December, I went. And when I went, with it being December, I took just a handful of minis with my business card, and I passed them around. And Nyla was there. And then I wasn't able to go in January. I don't remember for what reason. But when I went last weekend on Saturday, Nyla passed around these bookmarks, and she said that red was made with your mini. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. How cool is that? So she is like, sorry, I think because I'm here, it's blurring it, but she is like a master weaver. She's amazing. She does all sorts of things, but she made these bookmarks. So I love that. It's very cool. So I thought y'all might get a kick out of that. All right, what else? So socks. Oh, another thing that I might have cast-on-itis. I've never had this problem before. But I told y'all that I want to do this cowl. So I did, since I was restocking Pomp and Circumstance, I caked up a skein of it on fluffy sock and a skein on fluffy lace. And then that is what I'm going to knit this cowl with. So the cowl calls for, I believe it's worsted. She has you holding together 2 sport weights for a worsted. But because of all the halo on fluffy lace, I'm not worried about that. And I want it to be super drapey. And I'm also not going to make it as long. If you were here last week, then if you watched, you know that my issue with the whole Dickie thing. So one of the things that I'm going to do to make it look more like a traditional cowl is that I'm going to shorten the front and the back where, down here where it separates. So it'll be a lot shorter and it'll just come down a little bit. So it'll be nice and drapey and you'll have all that around the neck. So that is what I'm doing, but I'm not sure when I'll cast that on because I want to finish the ranunculus. I am going to have to start a hat at some point because for our March fiber challenge. And then I also have to finish my socks and I need to knit a pair of socks for Susan. Which, by the way, speaking of socks, and I'm already forgetting, Karen, was it you that knit the puffle socks? And I like that, Pam. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So this is the puffle socks by My Yarny Corner, which, by the way, she has a really cute YouTube channel. I only got to watch one video so far, but she's adorable. You should check her out. She's from the UK, I believe, or at least that's what her accent says. So anyway, I fell in love with these socks. So who knows? I might even do Susan's socks. See, I got to make some decisions here. I could use the Fat Tuesday colorway and then the other, especially if I don't make them super long, right? Ooh, or I could mix Bodacious and Gnarly and as the other alternating color. But Pam says, I'm going to be contrary and say that knitting a heel in a dark blue, gray, blackish would really make the Mardi Gras colorway pop. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. It would if we did. Oh, yeah, I don't hate that at all. I guess I'm trying to, yeah, I don't hate that, Pam. I don't hate that at all. I'm just trying to think for the socks because I want them to be loud. Do you know what I mean? And I know it'll make this colorway pop. I don't know. I have to think about it. I might even have to knit up a swatch or something just to see. I'm not big on knitting swatches for that. I will do a gauge swatch all day long, but I'm not always big about knitting swatches to see how something looks. But I might in this case because I want them to be just right for her. I want to have a good, yeah, pomp and circumstance. Exactly. I think so, Pam. I like it. I like it. If I'm the EP, do I get a raise? Yeah, you get a raise. All right. What's a raise from 0? Okay. What else do we have going on? Oh, let's see. We went through the Swan projects. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what it could be. My whole battery running low kind of messed me up. So anyway, I'll think of it probably. And then I'll be like, oh, well. So I have had some more fun dates come up, y'all. Just so you know, and I put this in the newsletter, March 8th, I will be at Crochet Aweigh. That is a Saturday. And then Nash Yarn Fest, y'all know, March 14th and 15th. And I meant to do it this morning and got sidetracked. I will post the 2 places that Bo and I will be for sure if you want to come hang out with us outside of Nash Yarn Fest. Obviously, we'll be there at the festival, but also to do some Swan meetups outside of that. All right, April 5th, this is new. I will be at She Sells Yarn in Ormond Beach for a trunk show as part of their Orange Blossom Yarn Crawl. So I will be there. I believe that's the last Saturday of the yarn crawl. I will be there doing a trunk show at She Sells Yarn. And then in April, I've mentioned this one, the end of April, 25th and 27th is the Georgia Mountain Needle Arts Festival. That's in Ellijay. And I believe I might see 1 or 2 swans there. I've already heard. And then this one might be brand new. I don't think I've told y'all about this one, but I don't have the date written down either. I'll have to look it up. Well, it's on my website. If you go to the swancityyarns.com and scroll all the way down, I've got a listing so far of all the places I'll be. I don't think I have Helen's trunk show down at She Sells Yarn yet, but I'll get a graphic up for that. But in May, I don't know, is it mid-May to late May? I don't remember. It's the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival in Lexington. And Morgan will be with me for that one. It's just going to be her and I on a girls' road trip. Oh, boy. We'll have fun. Morgan's a hard worker, just so you know. And then August, the beginning of August, 8th and 9th, I will be at the Southern Comforts Fiber Festival in Charlotte. It is going to be a busy year. So if you can come to any of those, I would love to meet you. And I've got others on my list to be looking at for next year. So yeah, I'm making the rounds. So yeah, it's going to be busy and it's going to be good. I hope to see you all at one of them somewhere. Yes, Lonnie, that is one. Thank you, Lonnie. So May 17th through the 18th in Kentucky. Thank you. Right in the middle of May. And then, yes, I do have DFW on my list. They are on it. I have to tell you, some fiber festivals, you go to their website and it's like, the show is in a few months or the festival's in a few months and you haven't updated your website. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But DFW, like they are on it. They have the dates and they get that stuff settled quick. So I have it on my calendar to check for sure. All right. And then Barbara, two interesting but not difficult shorties, the birthday shorty and the willow socks. Okay, I will check those out. I honestly don't typically do a ton of shorties, but I don't know why. I mean, I like them. And like this past week when it was kind of cool, but not, I was wearing my shorties quite a bit. And I have to tell you, I really like that rolled hem. I mean, not that doing cuffs is hard, but these fit nicely. I don't know that I would do them on a longer sock, but I like it on my shorties for sure. And the willow socks. Okay, I will look at both of those. The other thing that I'm going to do, and what I really liked about the puffle socks is that some of y'all, Linda, I know you're a huge fan of the shadow wrap heel, which is like, because y'all know I love short row heels. I've gotten to where I just don't really like picking up this. It's not hard. I think for me, the heel flap and then picking up stitches and then decreasing for the gusset, it takes longer. The thing with a short row heel is that you literally do it in a couple hours and you're done and you're on to the rest of the sock. Now, I will say the pattern that I use for my short row heels, normally I don't change color for the heel because the pattern that I use calls for you to knit around right in the middle of your heel. You knit a full way around. Well, that kind of messes up the look of the sock if you're using a contrast color. So I get that pattern from the knitgrammar.com. She has a formula. Well, she also has a formula for how to do it if you want to do an alternating color, a contrast color. And it combines German short rows with, at the very end, you have to do wrap and turns, which again was not that big of a deal, except I don't really care for the way it came out. Do you see that? And I don't know if that was me. It could have been a me problem. I fully admit it. I'll find out on the next sock. Because I think one of them I wrapped the wrong way because it's been a long time since I've done a wrap and turn. So when I do my second sock, we'll see how the heel comes out and if it's better. Anyway, so because of all of that, I'm interested in doing the shadow wrap heel because I believe the shadow wrap heel, you can do a contrast color, no problem, right? And it looks good and everything. So I did watch a quick instructional video and I was a little bit like, what? A twin, a triplet, the mother? I don't know what these terms are. But I noticed that in the puffle sock pattern, she has a link to a video and she has the instructions. And I was like, oh, I can handle. I can totally do that. So, and it sounds like, and I know Linda, I think mentioned this, that once you get it down, once you understand it, you don't have to have a pattern. Because like even for my short row heels, I have to look at my pattern. Okay, once I get to this many stitches, then you know what I mean? So, and apparently with the shadow wrap heel, it's a set kind of, how do I say it? It's an easy to remember pattern repeat type thing so that it quickly becomes something that once you understand it, you don't have to look at the pattern. You just kind of know how to do it. So yeah. All right. Carol says, yep, mine are with a contrast. All right. I'm so excited. Okay. And you usually, I've gotten to where I will substitute in my German short row heel for a lot of patterns because I just don't like the length of time that it takes. Okay. Yeah, I think one of the things that people sometimes don't care about with a short row heel is if you have a large, I think what do they call this? The instep. So if you kind of have a large circumference going around from the heel to the top of your foot, sometimes some people say that it doesn't fit as well and they need a long heel flap for that. And there are certain designers that write nice long heel flap patterns that, you know, I don't necessarily need that. The short row heel fits me pretty good. So I like that. All right. Willow socks. Barbara, do you know the author to the Willow socks? She may not be on here anymore. If I find it, I'll let you know, Laura. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not checked. Earth Tones girl. Okay. No Fear Shorty socks. All right. Let me write that down too. No Fear Shorty socks. And I have seen her. All right. I got my projects all set up now for my to-do list. Speaking of to-do list, do y'all have big weekend plans? I don't. Let's see. What do I have going on? So today, Bo and I are going to go on a coffee date after I have to finish filling some orders. So if you, speaking of which, there's something I forgot. If you ordered the Coordinating Cousins, if you ordered it before yesterday, then yours are going out today. So those are going out. And if anybody ordered stuff that's in the shop, then I'll get those filled. So I'm going to fill orders, and then Bo and I are going to go on a coffee date because it's beautiful outside. We like to go downtown, and we park on one side of Lake Mirror. And we walk all the way around and up into downtown. There's a coffee shop that we like to go to. We haven't done it in a while. So his leg was messed up, but he seems to be better now. So we're going to give it a go. And then we'll do our usual Friday grocery shopping. And then tomorrow, which, by the way, if you're local and you want to go, tomorrow is the celebration of life for Brandon Ward. I've mentioned it a couple weeks ago. So we'll do that. And then after that, I think I've got some yarn dyeing that I'll do this weekend. Got lots to do. And, but yeah, other than that, I'll definitely be getting some knitting time in. Oh, Tish, you have a date today with a snow shovel. Ugh. All right. Deb says it's Deb Buckingham is the author for the Willow socks. I have a feeling, is there more than one? Is that why? Kim, you're going to lounge and knit? I like it. All right. Let me write that down. Deb Buckingham. I have more notes than I started with. I like it. All right. I think that's it. That's right, Tish. You would know Deb, wouldn't you? I have to tell you, Tish, just on a side note, as we're heading out of here, I remember when you came to my dye class one week, and then, I don't know, at some point later on, you started doing Facebook posts from Syracuse, and I was like, did Tish move? I mean, this was a long time ago, but anyway, it was, yeah. So obviously you moved. All right, everybody, I have chatted enough. I hope that you have a fabulous weekend. And yeah, I'll be seeing you online. If you need me, you know how to reach out. You can message me on Facebook. If you're going to message me is best, or email me is always excellent too. All right. Bye, everybody.